Hi, welcome. My name is Susanna Green. I'm the math technologist at Fanshawe College. So today we're going to look at order of operations, BEDMAS. And we're going to do some examples to see how that works. So it's often called order of operations, but what we mean by that is our acronym BEDMAS. So this helps us to work out a value of a mathematical expression manually. So we're going to use these rules to do that. So the B represents brackets or parenthesis. The E represents exponents or the powers that we use. And then I'm going to group together division and multiplication because they are equally weighted. Okay, and I'll explain a little bit more about that shortly. And then we've got addition and subtraction. So when we talk about order of operations, we're looking at using BEDMAS to evaluate mathematical expressions without using the calculator. We're going to use these rules. When we talk about operations in math, we are always looking at adding, subtracting, multiplying, and dividing. So the first example that we're going to look at is this one. So what is the value of this expression? Okay, remember expression is very specific in math. So we have this question here. So what I normally do is I write BEDMAS here, okay, and I always put my box around division and multiplication. So with this expression, we're going to look at what's in the bracket first of all and work out that value. So I am going to write this step by step down the page. Okay, we're not going to do anything with this value first of all. We're just going to work out what's in the bracket. So 2 times 4. Here we know is 8, and then we have to apply the squared, and then we're subtracting 3. So we've completed the bracket part. Now we're going to look at the exponent and work out what the exponent is. So again, we're going to write the expression in order. We're going to work out 8 squared is 64, and we're going to then do the subtract 3. So now comes the interesting part, that we're looking for division or multiplication. Okay. Now the rule is that we always go from left to right to determine what one of those, either division or multiplication, happens first, and then we do that calculation first. So obviously in this example, we've only got division, so we know that we can just do 128 divided by 64. That's going to give us 2, and then we subtract 3, and then we can do any addition and subtractions so that we get our answer of -1. So now when we've evaluated this whole expression using BEDMAS, it comes to -1. Okay, the second example, okay, we're going to explain it that we're going to evaluate this expression. So we've got a negative number in the bracket here. Okay, we want to work out what the value of this is according to BEDMAS. So we're going to work out what's in the bracket first, -3 squared. Okay, we recognize mathematically that means -3 multiplied by itself 2 times. So that's going to give me +9. Okay, when we multiply 2 negative numbers, it gives us a positive number. So now we know that -3 squared gives us +9. So now we have 4. Now we recognize with the brackets that means it's multiply. So that's the operation that we recognize here. So we have 4 multiplied by +9 that we just worked out, and then we've got add 4 here. Now we're going to go from left to right, looking for multiplication, division or multiplication. We've only got multiplication here, so we know we've got 4 times 9, which is going to give us 36, and then we're going to add 4, and then we can complete that to give us a final answer of 40 here. So when we've evaluated this using BEDMAS, that's given us an answer of 40. Okay, the third example we have is to simplify this expression here. Okay, again, we're just working down the page here. So again, I always write out BEDMAS and remember to group together the division and multiplication. So we're going to work out what's in the bracket first. Now, within the bracket here, we've got something special. So all of this bracket inside contains this. So what we have to do here is we have to do BEDMAS within the bracket itself, because we've got a subtraction and we've got the exponent. So we know that we need to do the exponent first and then do the subtraction. So we know 4 squared means 4 times itself 2 times, 4 times 4, which gives us 16. So we know we've got 6 subtract 16. That's all squared. We're still going to multiply by 8 here, and we're going to add 2 here. So again, still in the bracket, we're going to work out that value in the bracket. 6 subtract 16, which is going to give me -10, which I know then is going to be squared. And then I've got my 8, and I'm adding 2 here. Okay, so now we've done the brackets completely. We're now looking at the exponents, and we know that we've got -10 squared, which we know is -10 times -10, which is going to give me positive 100. So now now remember that we've got 8 multiplied by this bracket, so I'm just going to put that symbol in. -10 squared, which we know is positive 100, and then we're going to add 2. So now we've done the exponents. Now we've got to look for division or multiplication, whatever comes first from left to right. So we see we've got 8 times 100, so that's going to give us 800, and then we're going to add 2, so we get our solution of 802 for this question. Okay, let's have a look at the 4th question here, which is a little bit trickier. This is a bit of a challenge question, so we're going to use the whole page here. So let's have a look at evaluating this. Okay, so again, I'm going to use the rules of BEDMAS, okay, but this is going to be quite tricky now because we've got quite a lot of operations here that we need to evaluate. So if we look at the entire expression, obviously we're going to look at the brackets first. We're going to work out what's in the bracket first. So again, I'm just going to write out the full calculation, doing it step by step, and just evaluating what's in the bracket. So 39 divided by 13 is going to give us 3. Okay, we recognize that means now 5 squared multiplied by 3. And let's change that. So we know that we've got this. We can just write it with the multiplication sign here. So we've done the brackets. Now we have to evaluate the exponents. So we've got 5 squared. We know that's going to give us 25. So again, I'm just going to show this step by step. I'm just going to put all the previous terms. 5 squared, 5 times 5 is 25, and then we're multiplying by 3 here. So we've done the exponents. Now we've got to look left to right for multiplication or division, whatever comes first. So we see now that we have a division here, so we know we have to do that first. Okay, so either multiplication or division, whatever comes first, that's the one that we do initially. So we now do 45 divided by 3, so that's going to give us 15. We're then multiplying by 5, dividing by 25, and then multiplying by 3. Again, look from left to right, multiplication or division, whatever comes first. So the multiplication is occurring first here. 15 times 5 is going to give us 75. And then we've got the rest of the calculation here. Okay, again, left to right, looking for either multiplication or division. We've got division first. So we're going to do the division first and then the multiplication. So we know 75 divided by 25 is going to give us 3, and then we're going to multiply by 3. So finally, we're going to get a solution of 9, positive 9, for our answer. So now we've evaluated this whole expression using BEDMAS to give us a solution of 9. So just to summarize what we've done, we've got some key takeaways here that will help us to kind of follow the rules. So the first thing is, don't use a calculator when you're evaluating mathematical expressions. You know, most of the time the questions are asking you to do it manually, so therefore you know that you're going to use the techniques that we've learnt about using BEDMAS. So don't use a calculator. Use BEDMAS to do that manually. Okay, so again, just a reminder of BEDMAS. We first of all do the brackets, the parentheses, then we look at the exponents and work out the exponent part, and then we're going to go from left to right. So from left to right, we're going to look at for division and multiplication, whatever comes first. And that last example really illustrated that, because we had lots of multiplication and division, but we were doing it, you know, in sequence from left to right. And then finally, you can do the addition and subtraction. Okay, and just to finish off, try these yourself, and then I'm just going to write the answers for you to check against too. So again, remember all the different ways that they can ask these questions to simplify, to evaluate, and so on. And then you should get this answer of 7 for that question, and then try this question as well with brackets and parentheses, so a little bit more going on here. And that just continues on there, and then that should give you an answer of 208 using BEDMAS. If you need extra help, please reach out to me using the links provided in the description below. Also, check out the other videos in the series. Thanks for watching.